Fox Television Center in Hollywood. It's The Late Show starring Joan Rivers. Joan's guests tonight are Kate Jackson, musician Michael McDonald, Howie Mandel, Hugh Hefner, and the winner of the Lucky Dog Lookalike Contest. Mark Hudson with the Party Boys and the Tramps. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Joan Rivers!
Pretty color suit. We have the best show for you today. I'm so glad you're here this evening. We have Kate Jackson, who is just incredible. Hugh Hefner, a man who has seen more chess than the Colonel. That blew that joke. Hugh Hefner, a man who has seen more breasts than the Colonel Sanders. Okay. Michael McDonald. From St. Elsewhere's, Howie Mandel, who is just so wonderful. But it's really exciting more than anything. Yesterday in New York City, they had a master dog look-alike contest. I don't know if any of you saw it. And I was one of the finalists. The grand prize... Thank you. The grand prize was $10,000, and I entered with my dog, Spike. We didn't win, unfortunately. We got honorable mention. But I am proud to say I was also named honorary bitch, so that makes me very happy. But let me show you. Would you like to see Spike and me together? This is what... Yeah, okay. We have the winner here tonight, which is very exciting, the look-alike list. Also, I want you to know, I was not the only celebrity to make an idiot and enter. A lot of celebrities entered, but Spike and I, we came in with 3 votes ahead of anyone. The next closest to us, of course, was Yoko Ono and her master. But that was... But we brought back with us some clips of the other people in the contest. Would you like to see some clips? Here are clips of look-alikes and their dogs, okay? These are the clips from last night's contest. The person and the pooch that look more like each other than any other people in America, Mr. Dean Lund and his dog, Alibaba. Okay. Now, let's see the two of you close together.
All right. Rally. Turn around and look at the lights.
All right, now we'll decide. What do you think? Can we get a close-up? Yeah. All right. That's very nice. Now you won. How much did you win?
$10,000.
Oh, you can sit down in the chair.
All right.
Yeah. You can put him on the couch.
All right, up here.
Yeah. Get up. Get up on the couch.
He doesn't sit on furniture. Come on.
Oh, excuse me.
Go ahead.
So, you won $10,000. Are you going to split it?
No.
You're not going to split it? What are you going to buy the dog?
Well, he had part of my steak the other night, and I've supported him for 7 years.
All right. Now, what are you going to do with the money? What are you going to do with it?
After I've given part of it to charity, my wife and I will probably go to China next summer.
That's great. That's great. Good for you. Good for you. Are you going to take the dog?
I'm afraid not.
He would like the Great Wall.
Yeah.
You can initiate the grade. Now, he's sitting there, and he's a semi-good dog. Okay. What is he? He's a what?
Standard poodle.
Standard poodle. And does he do tricks? Like my Spike does wonderful tricks.
Does he? Well,
Yeah.
yes, he does a lot of obedience things, hand signals.
Show us a couple of tricks.
All right. Come on, Ollie. Sit. Stay.
Go, Ellie, go. Do you have any other dogs at home?
Yes, I also have an apricot standard. My wife has an Irish setter.
So are the other two jealous?
No, they get along really well.
But only one looks like you.
Yes.
What does your wife look like?
My wife has red hair. She looks like her dog.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for coming, and come back again next year if you win.
All right.
Okay?
Since you've only got an honorable mention,
Yeah.
can we give you and Spike a Lucky Dog T-shirt?
Oh, absolutely.
The rest of us got them in New York, but you weren't there.
Thank you very, very. This could fit me too. Thank you so very much. We'll be back in a moment with Kate Jackson, Michael McDonald, Howie Mandel, and Hugh Hefner. So stay tuned. You sound great, Mark. My first guest stars each week in the CBS series Scarecrow and Mrs. King. We also know her as one of the original Charlie's Angels, and they always said she's the one with the brains, but she also had a lot of beauty. This Saturday morning, she's going to be the sponsor of a tennis tournament at UCLA, which is starting at 9:30, and the money will go for battered and missing children. Will you please welcome the adorable, the sexy, the dynamic, my good friend, Kate Jackson. You brought T-shirts?
Yes, okay, this is what I have to do. I brought something for the Tramp.
Our band Tramp.
And then something for you and I, okay?
Okay.
So I'll go give this to the Tramp.
Okay.
And you keep this, and don't show it
No,
yet.
I
You
promise.
can peek.
I promise.
Don't open it yet.
I won't. I promise.
Okay.
All right.
Now.
This is for Beverly, the band Tramp.
Okay, now, don't show it to the people yet.
Okay.
But when you do, show it proud, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I haven't seen
All right,
it.
wait. Don't open it yet.
Okay.
I've never done anything like this in my life. Don't show it to the people yet.
I haven't
Don't. Get ready to open it and show it to the people. All right.
Tell me
you ready, Tramp? Okay, Tramp, show it proud. Wait a minute now. Okay, Joan. Let's go on.
Did you ever have a one-night stand? Seriously. Did you ever, meet somebody? We can talk now. We're very close.
No,
Let's both put this back on, and we'll call these truth T-shirts.
Okay.
Did you ever have meet somebody, and it was very romantic? I don't just mean and did you ever spend one night with someone and never see them again?
We're not shown in Alabama, are we?
No.
Because, the answer, it will make a difference.
No.
In whether or not I tell it. No, in fact, it won't make any difference. I won't tell the truth, no matter where we are.
Did you ever have a two-night stand?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Well, look, nowadays that's almost like a meaningful relationship. You know what I'm saying?
No. Isn't that great? I'm so jealous.
And I'm only kidding. Where's the camera, Mother?
No, you shouldn't. Why should it be double standards? Men have that.
Yes, they do.
I think it's because women are more sensitive. I think we want much more than just, ding-dong, in and out, and have a good time. I mean ringing the bell, going into the apartment, coming back out. But you know what I'm saying? I think women are more sensitive. Even, and especially when you're good looking, you don't need that because you have so many men. But I was looking at People magazine, speaking of good looking.
You know, I haven't read that article yet, so this is going to take me
three of you
by surprise.
look Homeward Angels, and they show all three of you 10
you know
years
what that
later.
Is? That's the Time magazine cover. You know, we were on the cover of Time magazine. It was one of the most incredible things I ever did was look on my coffee table and see myself on the cover of Time magazine.
Yeah. Do you go to the... Do you, when you see yourself in a magazine like Time, people you can expect to see yourself in because it's a current magazine. But Time, didn't you think, my God, to be on the cover of Time?
That really meant something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you frame it?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact.
I
did.
Yeah. What room did you put it in?
It's in a hallway.
Yeah. Where do you keep your trophy?
In the back hallway.
Yeah, is that because you're embarrassed?
Well, no, you know, I mean, it was great, but it was also yesterday, so.
Now, these three girls, which is amazing, 10 years later, all three of you are still major stars. Farrah Fawcett and Jackie. I know.
You know, Jackie, she just had another little baby. You know, she has a little boy and a little girl, little baby Spencer, and I'm her godmother.
So you're very friendly, the three of you.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? That's nice. 10 years later, still stay friends. Who weren't you friendly with as they came through? After
I didn't know the two who came after me. I met Shelley Hack, and she was very nice. And Cheryl and I were never that close, but we were, you know, I mean, we were all pretty friendly.
But not friendly like this.
No, Jackie and I think are probably the closest. We've really stayed good friends.
What do you do, like you say, good friends? Don't you work all the time, and now you're producing, and you're directing, and you're starring? I mean, it's major work. Nobody thinks, you know, how hard it is, what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, it doesn't leave a lot of free time, but...
How often do you see your friends?
Well, I talk on the phone a lot. For instance, to Jackie and to my family in Alabama. I don't see my friends nearly as much as I wish I could, but let's see, that'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, I'm right, 11 years of series television now at the end of this year. And I've managed to keep up pretty well. But I really have for 11 years. That's been a long haul.
A typical day when you're working, and then a typical day when you're not working.
When I'm working, I get up about 5 o'clock in the morning. They pick me up at 5:30. I'm on the set.
Makeup?
Makeup, hair, wardrobe, learning lines, some changes here and there. If I'm directing, I'm up even earlier, and they're even earlier. And then we work, you know, until lunch, and usually have a half-hour lunch, and then work. I usually work a 12, 13-hour day. When I'm directing, it can go as long as 18. That's a long day.
It's a horrendous day.
But the directing is a lot of fun. You know, I like it especially on the days that I'm not acting. When I found myself saying, when I don't have to work, when I just direct, you know, when I go in and direct, because then it's a lot looser. It's more fun.
Do you find, because you're so sexy and you're an object to a lot of people, do you find it's very hard for men to take you seriously?
I don't know.
When you direct, because a director is a person of authority.
No, because you know, I really, I've been in front of the camera doing this for so long. I'm not ready to do a big movie or anything. But as a way of learning, I read an article that Steven Spielberg had an interview he had given, and he said, you know, the only way you really learn to do it is by doing it. You can't watch another director direct and learn to direct. So. I just found that I could take the script, and it's not going to be brilliant every week, take the script that I'm given and do the best job with it that I can and try to make nice moving pictures. Try to make it so that it's not a show that you can walk out of the room and hear the sound and you don't need to see it, because that would just be radio, which I think television is guilty of a lot. Yeah. So, and the crew takes me seriously, I think, because I'm excited about it, and, you know, I'm trying to think of a little way to do it a little bit differently and making a moving picture.
Did you ever think, because I was reading your biography back in my dressing room, you came out alone, a girl alone, you got in a car and you just drove out here.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm going to make it in the business. Did you ever think you'd make it to the extent you made it? I mean, where did you think you'd end up?
I never doubted that I would do everything that I've done, and there's still so many things yet to do. I know that there's the lady that wrote this article in People, it said something about I was stuck in I forget the adjective of series television. And I would just like to say to that lady, I haven't heard the fat lady sing yet, so we'll see.
We'll see in a second. Coming up is Michael McDonald, Howie Mandel, and Hugh Hefner after these messages, so please stay tuned. We'll see. Everybody remembers my next guest when he was churning out hit after hit as one of the Doobie Brothers. He is now doing the same thing on his own. His current album, No Looking Back, is doing very well on the charts, and he is here to sing Sweet Freedom. Michael McDonald. Let me see the eyes. Oh, look, women go crazy with his eyes. Every secretary upstairs said, look at his eyes, look at his eyes. Since you were a child, they're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And your wife likes them too because you're married now.
That's right.
So, yeah, I know. Did that cut down a lot of fun on the road for you?
Help me get up earlier in the morning.
Yeah. Now, I first saw you as a Doobie Brother, and you were so successful. What made you break up?
Well, a lot of things. None of really which were any animosity so much between the band. I think with a lot of bands, what happens, a lot of situations like the band, you get to a point where the band starts running you, and you're not running the band anymore. And as up until that point, we had always been able to pretty much create our own destiny or be masters of our own destiny, at least in the artistic sense, given all the things that might happen. And then we just got to a point where it seemed like the powers that be were dictating the policy artistically and things like that. So.
Were you worried when you broke up? Did you think maybe I'm blowing something wonderful and I'll never,
Yeah, very much so. In fact, we played one night at the Chicago Fest, and there was about 100,000 people in the audience, not just to see us, but because it was the Chicago Fest, we kind of drew that many people around the band. And I remember thinking, looking out on the audience, that it was our farewell tour, thinking, we ought to have our heads examined or something before we walk away from this. But it was the time and the place, and I don't think any of us have any regrets, really.
Do you still ever see each other?
Yeah, a lot. In fact, I was up at Patrick's house about a month ago. We've toyed with the idea of having a reunion. We just haven't come up with the excuse yet.
Is he married too?
No, that's...
So he's having the good life, and you're having the quiet life?
Yeah.
Which is different, yeah. Our next, should I bring out Howie Mandel? Our next guest also got married, yeah. But he just had a baby. There's no baby yet in your house.
No, not yet. No.
Our next guest is adorable. He's all over the media. Film, television, stage, records, pay television, home video, everything. He just finished a film where he was on all fours for 70% of the movie, which is typically Howie Mandel. You know him from St. Elsewhere as Dr. Wayne Fishers. Will you please welcome Howie Mandel?
This is neat. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations to
Mike
you.
McDonald, Kate Jackson. It's neat meeting you. I used to watch, I never missed an episode of Charlie's Angels. I don't know if I told you this, but I used to be able to relate to that show because I actually did that in high school for 2 summers. That was my summer job.
Being an angel?
No. You're a nut. I was like the Charlie character. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, and this was just like a summer job. Whenever there was bank robberies, or there was like a string of murders in the area, I would dispatch 3 beautiful women to solve it. Now they know who I am.
Is that how you met your wife?
No, no, she wasn't an angel. I met my wife. I don't get it. My wife I actually met on a blind date. My wife and we actually met on a blind date. I mean, I knew my wife, but we didn't know the person who set it up. Is that weird? That is really weird.
How's the baby?
The baby's great. My wife and I have just started potty training, which I think is important because when we want to potty train the baby, we should set an example.
Oh, I think so.
I guess you can just walk her in the living room and say, "Don't do what Mommy did." That's weird. But we're starting potty training. We really are. It's weird. Your daughter, I saw your daughter.
Well, she's all potty trained now.
She is potty trained.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
You
totally.
can always tell. I can tell there's a certain gleam about a woman who's potty trained. There's a confidence there. But we're potty training now, and there is. Did you ever notice it? And there's a certain smell to someone who isn't.
So how are you potty training?
But this is the truth. You know how I got pamphlets because, like, I didn't know how because I don't remember. But you have to do it like with reward. Is that how you did it?
Yes.
When
yes.
my daughter goes on the potty, she gets a cookie. So now she won't go unless she's hungry. I think that's neat, except that I don't know when you tell her that doesn't work. She'll be like 25 and out on a date, and you hear her from the ladies' room going, "I'm finished, I want my cookie."
We'll be right back with Howie Mandel, Hugh Hefner, Anthony Special, so stay tuned. Oh, you're hot tonight. We are back. That's great.
You guys sound great. It's Mark
that's
Hudson.
Mark Hudson.
I bought your brother's house. I bought Bill Hudson's house. I just bought a house. I'm real excited about that. You know, it's what? Go.
I don't know which one.
Well, I don't know. Does he have a lot of them?
Yeah.
I think if you have 5, you get a hotel, right? I don't know that much about houses. I was buying this house, and the real estate agent told me it's a feature. This one has like a circular driveway, and I said, "Well, great, I got a house with a circular driveway." But really, it's a pain because mine's an actual circle. It doesn't go out to the road. I just was driving around for a long time.
Are you home a lot, or your career's in such high gear now?
I've been traveling. I just got back. I should plug a few things.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
My ears and my nose. I want to plug. Well, I got a Paramount Comedy Theater. I got these tapes coming out where I host and bring out comedians, and you can go to the stores. It was done just to rent, so people can rent it and then give it back the next day. Isn't that a great concept?
That's great.
And then I got a movie, Bobo the Dog Boy, is coming out.
That's when you're...
February, March. But I've been traveling. We've been insane elsewhere. I'm in the middle of an episode. Should I tell what happened?
Tell what happened.
Gets shot and killed.
Oh. That's the
I'm
ending?
serious.
Oh.
And I was in, and then I go through, like, I have an out-of-body experience in this episode. So, have you ever done that? You believe that? In transcendental meditation, you ever, like, left your body? I think that's a neat thing. But you gotta watch where you're going when you leave your body. One time I left my body and I went shopping. When I got back, nothing fit. So now I'm gonna take my body. I figure you save time, you can leave your body at home, and then you gotta return everything. No, but I actually go to, like, heaven and hell and purgatory, and I was just in Page, Arizona.
Now, is that heaven or hell?
I don't know. They're probably watching. I don't want to tell. Person! Someone's just yelling out Howie.
Howie, he likes you. Tell me about Arizona.
Arizona was neat. We were in the middle of the desert on an Indian reservation, a Navajo Indian reservation, and they have these people live in adobe huts. It's beautiful land. They live in these adobe huts that seat about 4 people, and they have satellite dishes beside. So they sit in these adobe huts watching Dynasty, and there's like one adobe hut every 2 miles, which I think is like a nice way of living. You know, it's secluded, except if you're a kid on Halloween. It's just like, you're out there for like 2 years, and you get 2 candies. Every house is like 2 miles away. And I wonder if there's like weird Indians that would give you like a tomahawk in your apple. Could that happen? And Indians would come to me some days and just give me things. They just walk up to me and give me things, and then the next day, they would take them away.
Why?
They know why. They were Indian givers. That's terrible, isn't it?
It's terrible.
It is terrible. And I've been traveling. I went to London, England, for the first time.
Isn't that my favorite city in the whole world?
It's You know, I was just going to say it's my favorite city in the whole world. And then you said it, and then it's your line, but I'm saying it too. I went on the Concorde. Did you travel on the Concorde?
Yes, it's my favorite plane in the whole world.
Me too. Wow, this is like deja vu. The Concorde was great. It travels twice the speed of sound, which is fun, except you can't hear the movie till 2 hours after you land.
We'll be right back with Hugh Hefner after this message, so don't turn your dial. My next guest, I think, totally revolutionized the magazine business. He certainly found out early about the sexual revolution, went right with it, and helped our country become, I think, very liberal. It's Hugh Hefner, but before we bring him out, I think we should all make him feel at home, so we should all wear robes.
Oh, okay.
All right? Because is this for you, Kate? Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, Michael, there's one for Michael. This is one for you, Howie. We couldn't find, if you don't mind.
I have the same one at home.
This just makes it a little more casual, all right?
You know, I feel sexy.
My next guest, as I said, you just say the name Hugh Hefner. I don't think you have to say anything more. He is absolutely one of the most brilliant men in the publishing field alive today. He's an industry. He's a national landmark. He's just Hugh Hefner. He's just wonderful. Please, let's put him on.
I should have left on my pajamas.
We were hoping. Now, you look wonderful.
I'm feeling good.
Retirement really, really, really agrees with you.
Yes, well, it's kind of partial retirement. I'm working on an autobiography and enjoying life a little more than ever.
You've really given up the reins now of Playboy and let your daughter do it?
I've got my daughter taking care of, the day-by-day detail.
So what happens, because she's brilliant, I read about your daughter, Christy, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's a Phi Beta Kappa.
Yes.
What happens if you open an issue and you just say this is wrong?
Well, it doesn't work quite like that. In other words, she really deals with the business side of it. And I'm still very much involved in the editorial of the magazine. So we have monthly meetings.
So you still pick the Playgirls,
yes,
the Playmates?
Still pick the Playmates.
Yeah, that's tough. So you're really not really, yeah.
Yes, I stay with the really important things, yes.
How did it upset you? Because you thought of the idea of combining a good man's magazine with pictures of beautiful girls. And then along came Hustler and along came Penthouse. I mean, didn't you just get furious because they really just stole your ideas? I mean, there was nothing new about them.
Well, I always felt that someplace along the way, because Playboy now is 32 years old, and I always felt that someplace along the way, with the changing of values and times, that we would be getting competition, and the surprise is that it came from really variations on the theme or imitations.
But you don't get angry and say, because I'd say, damn it, I'd be crazed. It's my idea, and the hell with them, and I would not take it gently. Oh, hello.
No. I don't. Those aren't the things that get me angry. I think that things are too good.
What about frontal nudity? I mean, at this point, medical students should buy, all these magazines. I mean, nothing is. I mean, I see things on women that I didn't even know I owned. I mean, it's just. Don't you think you're showing a bit too much?
Well, I think there's a tendency to once the field began to open up and some of the other more explicit, excuse the expression, some of the more explicit magazines came along. I think that Playboy is sometimes thought of in a genre, but those who actually read the magazine know that there's a significant difference in both the quality of editorial and also in terms of the explicitness of the pictures between Playboy and the other magazines. I mean, we're not gynecological.
Well, I don't know what you consider gynecological. I think, You know what I'm saying? I have to go by the others now.
Yes, you look at some of the other magazines that you mentioned,
and you see the difference.
You'll see a significant difference.
What kind of background do you come from to have thought of this kind of whole... No, I don't mean this, no. I mean, you changed what a good magazine was all about. Single-handedly, I think you did this.
Well, I was raised in the Midwest by Methodist parents in what I think was a typical home environment of the period, and I was raised in very repressive circumstances. I grew up in the 30s and early 40s in both repressive circumstances and in a very I was a very romantic kid when I was young, and raised by movies and believed some of the lyrics of the romantic songs, and I think the Playboy is very much a result of that. I think the Playboy really is a response to what for me is some of the more repressive Puritan attitudes that existed earlier. And what I've tried to do with the magazine is combine in one editorial package something that is entertaining and worth reading, but also includes the sensual part of life.
Were your parents alive when you?
Oh yes, my mother, who is about to be 91, is still alive and very healthy.
Now, what did she think if you came from this very strict background? What did she think the first time she saw TNA,
Yeah, well, I think it was a very real transition, an evolution for her as well as for society. I think that to begin with, she was not too sure what I was doing, although she was always, both she and my father were very supportive. Dad came to work for me in the late 50s because he was an accountant. and helped keep the books together. I think that when I started doing the Playboy philosophy in the early 60s, and she saw what I was trying to do, and saw also the impact and response, some of it positive, that was going on even in terms of religious circles, that she came with me.
Last question, Michael, if you would, to sing another song, because I just ask you one thing quickly. We always hear about the parties at the Playboy Mansion, and certain people are blackballed, not allowed to come back. Give us a couple of names. Just a couple of names.
No.
Give me one name of somebody you wouldn't want to see at a party.
Somebody who was welcome before and is
no longer welcome.
I don't think I could.
Am I welcome?
Sure.
Can I call you Hef?
Yes.
You can call me Hal.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll call you whenever we like, right after this message of interest and then a song from Michael McDonald. Okay. Hugh Hefner, you've photographed most of the most beautiful women in this country. Is there any woman that you've tried to get for Playboy that you haven't, that you'd like to get?
Well, I think who you want, it kind of changes from year to year. One person right now?
Yeah.
Maybe Vanna White.
Vanna White, okay. All right. That shouldn't be hard. Tomorrow night will be Larry Hagman, movie critics, Siskel and Ebert, rock stars say thank you. And Charles Nelson Riley. So please be with us again tomorrow night. And thank you so much, Kate. You are the best. I love you. Michael, thank you very, very much. Howard, anytime. And you have a pleasure having you. Please, you all come back. And thank you to Alibaba, of course, and his Miss Master, Dean Lund, and a special good night to Willard Scott, NBC's answer to mortal sin. And thank you all for watching us. Good night.
Joan Rivers Wardrobe by Eamon Wardy of Newport Beach.